42 years ago, BMW changed the landscape of motorcycling with the introduction of this machine. It's called the RawHyde GS. Now, GS stands for Geländestraße in German, which means overland street. It's kind of a dirt bike, but kind of not. It's capable in the dirt, but it's also comfortable on the street, and that was BMW's vision. They wanted a machine that people could travel the world with. 42 years later, this is the evolution of the original GS. This bike weighs a couple hundred pounds more than the old R80. This is a 1250 GS Adventure, they call it. It weighs nearly 600 pounds and even more so if you have luggage and the other accoutrements that you might have. So having the skills to pilot something this heavy off-road is really critical. BMW realized that in order for people to get the most enjoyment out of the bike and use it to its potential, they felt the need to produce some form of an educational program to help buyers and owners of the GS get the most out of the machine. BMW has established schools all over the world, and they found that the schools really helped enhance the ownership experience. That's where we come in at RawHyde Adventures. We have several levels of training, a tiered series of classes and clinics that will take you up to expert level, ready for global travel. We're the only training center in North America that is authorized and sponsored by BMW, something of which we're very proud. We've been a partner with BMW for 15 years, and there's nobody else that can claim that. The thing that makes RawHyde Adventures different from everybody else that's out there, we own all of our own properties, and we've reinvested consistently building and buying more land so that we can do what we do on property that we own. We have 2,500 acres here in Southern California. We have 120 acres high up in the Rocky Mountains in a beautiful location, another 100 acres in the Mojave Desert, and then we have a little tiny satellite facility right at the edge of Death Valley National Park. I call us an adventure lifestyle company. The experience from a rider's standpoint that people get when they come here. Number one, we've been doing this now for 21 years. We've got 4 different levels of training. So we have a focal point, our entry level thing we call Intro to Adventure. And we have coaches that have been working with me for upwards of 15 years. And they just know how to deal with nervous novice riders. We also have level 2, 3, and 4 for people who either want to get into some pretty extreme riding and go on the rough, really rugged Jeep trails of America, or perhaps they're gearing up to do an around the world trip. We have experience with all of that.
All right, everyone, what we have here is our half pipe. It's this training element here. It requires you to be on all 4 areas of the motorcycle, forward, aft, left, and right.
Riding a motorcycle, a lot of times the unpredictable can happen. And when you're riding off-road and you're riding in dirt, that makes the bike do certain things that could happen when you don't expect it on the road. So ultimately, it's going to make everybody a safer rider, and I think that's our biggest goal here.
You do something like a teeter-totter here. Teeter-totter is awesome. It's great fun. But the skill when you're on the road that you're going to use for that is if you're climbing up a hill, you got to stop for a minute and look to see what's on the other side. And that's a skill that pause at the top of the teeter-totter, that'll do the same thing.
The wonderful thing about our coaching staff is we have people from ex-military, ex-police officers, entrepreneurs, very successful people that have come here and been part of the growth of this sport.
So these are our Infinity 8s, so it's real fun to go fast and straight in the desert, but in adventure riding, you're gonna have to be able to make tight technical turns, and this exercise is gonna emphasize that skill set for all of you.
It's a 3-day experience. You arrive on a Friday afternoon. We provide all of the meals. We have a full hospitality program. We have our own bar. And it's just an immersive lifestyle experience because this is not the Ritz-Carlton. You're way out in the country. I'd like to think that we embody the essence of what this adventure lifestyle is all about. We have some cabins. We have a big bunkhouse that the guys sleep in, but there's a a sense of camaraderie that develops over the weekend. They sit around the campfire at night and have a beer, and they share all their meals together. And the thing that is the unexpected surprise and delight that we do is our chef is a cordon bleu chef. The food is so far above what most people expect when they come to a setting like this. That's our little surprise. We'll do our damnedest to fix anything we can to make sure that you guys have a stellar time this weekend. Does that sound okay? Yeah. All right. Awesome. Y'all excited about riding motorcycles this weekend? Yeah. All right.
The bikes that we have folks rent when they come up here are all a BMW fleet. That's not to say that anybody can't come up here with another bike, but just in my personal opinion and speaking from my professional life, I know that BMW is very committed to the rider and specifically rider safety. And so for me, that's really a big deal that you have a company that's so focused on improving things to keep riders safe and keeping riding a long time.
We exceed their expectations as far as what they feel they can learn in a weekend. They walk in here not quite sure what they're really going to be able to absorb and then execute. But at the end of a 2-day period, I continually have people come up to me and go, Jim, I had absolutely no idea I was able to pick up so much in such a short period of time.
Just handling the bike, getting over the fear of what the bike can do, and letting it just be an enjoyable experience.
You try to look at yourself, but you can never be on point. So you always need someone else to criticize you. So it was amazing because as having the coaches here was great. So they gave you different pointers, so make you a better rider.
He's done a great job of putting together a curriculum that just builds skill sequentially and comfortably. And it's spectacular, and I can tell you it's changed my life on a motorcycle.
The facility had every area you needed to practice these skills. Then of course afterwards sitting around the campfire with a great dinner and meeting your new friends, some lifelong friends from that was something I didn't expect.
I've never forgotten where I came from. I've never forgotten that level of frustration I had as a new rider and learning a new skill set, and the feeling I got when things finally clicked. And to see that in other people's eyes and see just the joy that they experience learning something new, I mean, for me, that's the whole reward about being here.
No one has created in this industry what Jim has created. And we all have to respect and honor that, and all of us coaches do, because of the hard work, time, and effort that Jim has put into this.
You have the confidence to be able to go and keep up, not be afraid at every turn of the road like what's coming up next. You go, basically, if you've come through a course here, you know you can handle it.
I couldn't have had expectations high enough to have them be, not exceeded by what we got. It's in all respects, it was terrific.
It was just an amazing experience of just increasing my confidence riding the bike, and just also being around like-minded people, knowing that we're all here learning, nothing to be afraid of or embarrassed. We're gonna drop the bike. We're all here to help each other become better riders. Mission accomplished.
The like-mindedness, the venue, the equipment really gets you to connect with humans, and I think that's the ultimate goal, is to connect with other humans and then do something with passion with them.
RawHyde is an amusement park for adventure riders.